Hi, and welcome to the Toon Goons, the podcast in which we take an adult and critical perspective into the world of cartoons and animation and analyze how they affect the pop cultural landscape at large. I'm one of your hosts, Nicky.
I'm Nina.
And I recently got fired from my day job. Not from this podcast yet. Still working on it. I'm Tooch.
Alright. Our condolences to Tooch losing his shitty job that he hated.
Mm-hmm.
So now he'll be able to come all 3 days of MagFest.
Yes!
Which, that's the thing. Tooch and I will be at MagFest later this month. Nina, you can't go?
I don't think I can.
Nina probably won't be there. I'm still holding on hope like my name was Mumford, though. Today, we are talking about Gainax's anime short series, Furikuri, spelled FLCL.
That's what I've always called it. I've always just called it FLCL.
Yeah, I mean, that's wrong, but I can see why you would call it that. It's how it's spelled. Before that, as always, we've got some news stories. Nina,
Yes.
what do we got?
We've got some international stuff going on. I guess we can start with that. Going to Pakistan, it's been announced that Pakistan will be premiering its first ever full-length CG feature. The film is called Three Bahadur, or The Three Brave. It's going to be released this year, 2015. Happy 2015, everybody!
Woo!
It is directed by Sharmeen Obadid Chinoy. Sorry for butchering her name. An acclaimed journalist, documentary filmmaker, and winner of an Academy Award for her documentary Saving Face in 2012, as well as an Emmy for her documentary Pakistan Children of the Taliban in 2010. So she's quite an accomplished filmmaker, but this is her first animated film, and it seems to be her first fictional story as well. Not only is this Pakistan's first CG animated feature, but it's Pakistan's first theatrical animated feature in total. So it's pretty, history-making stuff. The film, The Three Braves, are 11-year-old Amna and her best friends Saadi and Kamil on the cusp of adolescence, where in Pakistan cultural expectations mean the pathway of girls and boys must separate. Set in a fictional town, the characters set out to save their community from a menacing villain and his fumbling thugs. All the dialogue is in Urdu. The director says, "We have taken special care to ensure that the story remains very local, from the way we have designed our characters to our dialogue and our script. We want children to see Pakistani characters who look like them and talk like them on the big screen for the first time." There is a trailer out as well, and a little art poster. It looks very epic in scale.
Yeah, I mean, the art, the actual visuals look a little dated or like a little TV, but when this is, this country's first foray into this medium, you can cut them some slack. And it looks like, from what we could see in this trailer, that had like no dialogue, and even if it did, it would have been in Urdu, which none of us speak. So it looks like it's gonna be at least, a decent amount of fun. And it is super important to, I feel like, combat this kind of arm of globalization, which normalizes American culture as the default when we export all our media to everywhere. Like, this is the first animated feature film in Pakistan. If Pakistani kids want to see a cartoon, it's going to be something from an American or European or Canadian perspective, or Japanese perspective. They don't have a local perspective in their cartoons, which is, where you get the children. So there's a threat of them losing their own cultural identity because their media isn't their own. At least a certain aspect of their media, a category of their media.
Oh yeah, no, totally. And animation is a super important part of culture just in general. Like it's an art form, and it's mostly attributed, at least these days, to children. Like, kids grow up watching cartoons more than anything else. Like, it's their early development. So if you want to instill a sense of culture in them, you gotta hit them where they'll be. You gotta go where they'll be. Go where the kids are at.
Yeah, the cartoon. And it looks like a really fun, plot. Like, it looks pretty heavy and on drama. It seems like these three kids managed to get, superpowers and, they're being chased and stuff, and it's got this really dramatic score thing going on.
Honestly, it's a really, the plot structure looks 100% Hollywood, ABC, rising action, whatever, etc. That whole graph, but that's not really this is more about the historical and cultural importance of the film than the film itself, really.
Yeah, I guess so.
Also significant is that the main character is the girl.
Oh yeah,
So she's not just going to be the girl, which is always good. That's good for everything.
it's always good.
Yeah, so I mean, I want to see what if anybody watches it, if they review it online. I would like to see how it turned out and if they feel like they were successful.
Let us know. Be our international correspondent, Goon.
All right, so there is going to be the first what is being called Middle Eastern anime called Tora Kaiser. It is created by Ahmed Al-Matowa, and it's being made in United Arab Emirates specifically. And there's an interview with the creator about this new anime program that he's creating, and there's a trailer. And he says that dubbed anime has been airing in the Middle East since the early 80s, if not the late 70s, so we all grew up with it. However, I truly got into it back when I was 9 years old. And he goes into talking about his history with anime and how it's very popular in at least the United Arab Emirates, as he can say, especially after the year 2000 with the introduction of high-speed internet. People started downloading anime, it became very popular between college students. It's quite unfortunate to see anime being introduced through piracy like this, but it's only because Japan has no interest in entering the Middle East market for animation. To this day, the Middle East remains an untapped market, and he wants to work hard to fix that.
With robots!
With robots!
Yeah, this is a mecha anime about some Arabic kid, I didn't catch his name, I don't know if it was in the trailer,
Yeah.
who goes to visit Japan and becomes a mecha pilot.
He literally intentionally dresses like an anime protagonist for this trip.
That was the best goof in the trailer.
Yeah, it was pretty great.
Like set in Japan, but with an Arabic main character, and I guess it's all in Arabic. Was some of the dialogue like in subtitled Japanese?
I think some of it might have been in Japanese.
I think a lot of the Japanese speakers were speaking Japanese unless they were talking to him, I think.
Yeah, like the girl in the interrogation room, that was Arabic.
Yeah, she opened with Japanese, and I recognized it, and I was like, oh, shit.
Yeah, I was a little confused listening to it, because I was like, wait, what? Oh, okay, it's both. Alright, that works.
It looks pretty cool. It looks really fun.
It looks super fun.
I love it already unintentionally, just because,
there's a robot.
Yeah.
Yes, there's a rabbit.
The story will maintain its identity as a comedic action series loaded with homage, Easter eggs, and parodies, and it'll make fun of a lot of typical giant robot anime tropes. But his protagonist's personality will develop into a more serious one as the story progresses. It's sort of like talking about more of his motivation for doing this. The creator says, so many Arab shows and cartoons that have been airing on TVs always portray Arabs as lazy, stupid, self-centered, unskilled, etc. And that's how the stereotype was formed. I wanted to do something different. I wanted to give kids and young adults a more positive role model, a brave Arab protagonist who may be lazy and unskilled but has a very pure heart that's full of courage and the willpower to protect other people, even if the fight doesn't concern him. So basically a shonen protagonist.
Yeah, I was about to say, it's you would think that the premise is like far-fetched, just like an Arab guy going to Japan and become a mecha pilot, but the personality of the character himself, he fits right into the trope perfectly, like a glove.
Yeah.
Yeah, and it's great to any kind of effort made to dispel nasty, really damaging stereotypes like that is good. So yeah, I'd like to check this out.
Yeah,
it's interesting
it was subbed in the trailer was subbed in English, so I don't think an English sub at the very least is that unlikely.
Yeah, probably not.
I find it interesting that he wanted to dispel the stereotypes, yet he still made him lazy and unskilled. But okay, well that's your call. But no, it worked. Like I said before, it really works well for the genre. Most, a lot of the super shonen, super OVA animes have at least one character, if not the main character, who is super duper hype about. It almost becomes meta sometimes, like it is in this, where it's like, I get to be a robot pilot, are you freaking serious? And then they're super gung-ho, and yet they're actually somehow skilled and good at doing this just because they want to super bad. With the power of friendship and shonen spirit. I love it.
Yeah.
That's what gets me up in the fucking morning.
Yeah, no, it's really great. And I'm
Robots.
excited a lot. And it's so colorful and passionate looking. Like, it comes from a place of love and admiration, so
Yeah.
I love stuff like
It's
that.
the same thing we were talking about the other episode, where like, in the mid-2000s, all non-Japanese anime-inspired stuff was just trying to mimic something the creators didn't understand, whereas now we're seeing people who grew up on anime putting that in their works. And that's what this is. He said, when he was 9 years old, everybody was really into anime. And in the 2000s, it got huge.
Yeah.
So now, somebody who was genuinely inspired by it, wanting to make more of it.
More news?
More international news.
Not really international. Yes, no, maybe so. Jorge Gutierrez confirms a possible trilogy of Book of Life films.
How can he confirms possible trilogy? That's an oxymoron.
Yes.
I guess like he confirmed that they're attempting to get a trilogy made.
Yeah, that makes more sense. That's a real sentence.
Like, during an interview back in October with the UK-based Ski Wiggly Animation Podcast, they hosted Jorge, and he was elaborating on the film, and he said that he had always imagined the first movie to be about Manolo, the second to be about Joaquin, and the third one to be about Maria. Then came the reveal that he always conceived it as a trilogy.
Which I mean, it's very Hollywood.
Yes.
I mean, studios won't talk to you if you don't have a trilogy.
Basically.
He did...
You gotta franchise it. We gotta make money. We gotta put it on lunchboxes and on bed sheets and on underpants and on the Hot Topics and on the Lunchables. Will your character's face look good on the front of a Lunchable? No? Get out of my sight. You'll never work in this town again.
He did, make a point to say that neither Real FX nor 20th Century Fox had announced anything concrete, but he says he does very much relish the chance of returning to the world, thinking it's going to be amazing. And I mean, I don't see why not. I mean, the mythology is already set up. I believe the film did pretty well at the box office, and this seems to be the era of, sequels and spin-offs and stuff.
That's been like the last 15 years.
Yeah.
But we're still in it. It's still the era. It continues to be. But in terms of like box office, like that's like relative speaking, because I mean, well, that would be a segue into a seg into the next news story.
Yeah, like he says he's currently working on a film about Mexican kung fu, which also sounds pretty cool.
My God!
That
yes,
sounds perfect in every way.
We're not, who knows what will come first, Book of Life sequels or Mexican kung fu? But I'm sure plenty of fun stuff is in store with our main man, Gutierrez.
Are we talking about like luchador monks?
I don't know. He just
Oh my gosh!
that's all he said. Quote, Mexican kung fu. That's it.
Oh my God!
Well, speaking of the box office, apparently, for the first time in 17 years, no animated feature earned enough global box office dollars to rank among the top 10 grossing worldwide theatrical releases. Which is kind of crazy, because usually animated films always manage to get on there because they're family films and people will go and watch them a million times. The highest grossing animated feature this year was How to Train Your Dragon 2, but it's not even really in the 10th spot amongst like things like The Hobbit and...
It got knocked out by Hobbit 3.
Yeah.
Unsurprisingly.
Yeah. There's a possibility that Big Hero 6 will enter the top 10, but it would require a phenomenal performance in its remaining territories, including China.
It says here that as long as the movie came out in the given year, box office sales in the next year still count towards that, which, I mean, that makes sense.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, wow, because I remember wasn't that one of our earlier news stories that, like, How to Train Your Dragon 2 did not do well? And it's the most top-grossing movie of the year?
The most top-grossing animated picture so far.
Yeah.
Just like a lot of stuff like Big Hero 6. I mean, Big Hero 6 was Disney's only movie this year, and I guess that hasn't aired everywhere yet. So that may knock it out, but...
Yeah.
But the article seems not the most confident.
Well, it's Cartoon Brew. They like to sensationalize things.
Oh.
Hopefully.
Why are we still using them? Because they're the only guys.
They're the only guys. But hopefully,
They're like the Ticketmaster of cartoon news.
I don't know, I feel like Big Hero 6 will be popular in
Yeah.
Asia.
Yeah.
Like, come on. So I don't think we have anything too much to worry about. But, it is interesting.
And maybe
Maybe it's because there were so many animated films this year.
yeah, it's possible that, there's so many great movies that they were fighting for attention. And also, one thing that article didn't bring up is, we don't know how well live action movies were doing.
That's true.
Maybe it was a banner year for them. We got a piece of bummer news, which I want to put in the middle here so we don't begin or end on it.
Yes, unfortunately, it came to everyone's attention on last week, maybe the week before, that Christine Josephine Kavanagh, a really successful, wonderful voice actress, passed away on December the 22nd of last year. She has done amazing work in the industry. She voiced Goslin Duck in Darkwing Duck. She was Chucky in Rugrats. She was Marty Sherman in The Critic. She was Oblina in All Real Monsters.
That's a candy cane lady?
I believe
Yeah, black and white candy cane lady?
She was
Yeah,
Babe.
Oh, she was Babe.
Babe.
Babe from Babe 2, Pig in the City, and Who Cares About the First One?
Babe 1995. And she was also Dexter from, of course, Dexter's Laboratory.
Yeah.
And Bunny Rabbit in the Sonic the Hedgehog cartoon that was good
Yes.
in the 90s.
Sonic Sad AM.
Yes.
Yeah. It's really sad. She voiced so many things and stuff a lot of us have grown up with.
A lot of redheaded characters.
Yeah, she retired in 2001 from her, voice acting to live with her family. So she hasn't done anything recently, but still, the things that she did do were really wonderful works that I loved. I mean, really funny characters from a variety of different kinds of shows, and it's just really sad and unfortunate.
Yeah.
That she's no longer.
I mean,
around.
she was Dexter. She invented an accent.
She did.
Yeah. Yeah, and then the role would be taken over by Candy Milo in the third season.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
And then Chucky Finster, Nancy Cartwright replaced her as Chucky Finster after 2002.
Our condolences to her family. And,
Absolutely.
Yeah. And all the fans and, all the people, it's going to be sad to tune in to Dexter and then know that she's not around anymore.
Let's move on. We got one other story that is fun.
Okay. It's a very short story. We don't have very much to go on it, but the first image of an Astro Boy reboot TV series, sort of a French-Japanese combo, produced by Shibuya Productions, Karabara Animation, and Tezuka Productions, has been released, as well as a website that doesn't have anything on it. All it has is this beautiful background of a city and a little Astro Boy staring out of it over water. And in the middle it just says Astro Boy Reboot, an inspiring vision of the future? And you can enter your email address to receive updates, I'm assuming. I did that. I haven't gotten anything, but hopefully I will, because I love Astro Boy a lot. So I am really excited. And if that art is any indication, I should be, because it's beautiful.
Yeah. Oh yeah, it looks super good. I love the shit out of Astro Boy too. Basically the Japanese Mickey Mouse and a million times better objectively, cause he's a robot!
Astro Boy is the most beautiful thing that's ever happened to the world.
Nina literally just checked her email again to see if she got any more updates from them.
I want it so bad. I love Astro Boy.
I really hope that they succeed. I'm trying to make a Freakazoid reference. It's not coming together.
We must succeed!
It must
succeed!
This project must succeed.
For those of you not in the know about Astro Boy, he was created by Osamu Tezuka, basically the greatest mangaka to ever live and make more work, put out more product in his life than you and your children and your grandchildren ever will combined. Godfather of anime. Fucking respect.
Yeah.
And manga.
Yes, the father of manga.
Alright, so that is all of our news.
Yeah.
that we have to share today.
Kind of a lot, but there's no recap. We don't have any recaps, do we? Because
no, shows still are not on the TVs.
Except for like Bob's Burgers, but we missed it.
Yeah.